I didn't even decide on an intro. What am I gonna say? Hello, what is going on, everybody out there watching me on the internet? My name is Sarah, and I've seen a lot of these videos on TikTok. I think it's called 10 Before the End. People out there are talking about the top 10 books that they want to read before the end of the year. It is currently the beginning of November, so I have 2 months until the end of the year. 10 books is a little ambitious for me, if I'm being honest, but maybe this will also help me motivate myself to just read more. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I also just wanted to talk about these books and get y'all's opinion on these so that I will actually read them and want to read them. I also don't know what the rules are for these things. Like, do they have to be newer books? Do they have to be books you haven't read yet? Because a couple of these are rereads, so I don't know if that's cheating or not, but still, they are 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. So if it's just that, then I'm still in the game, right? Speaking of cheating, I'm already reading this one. I'm almost done. Almost done? I'm about this much into it. Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This has been on my TBR for a couple months, and I'm finally reading it. I'm finally almost done. I love Abby Jimenez. If you know me, I love Abby Jimenez. It's fun. I am finally getting through all of the Part of Your World series, because apparently I read all of them in reverse order, but there isn't really an exact order. It's just more characters are introduced. Hopefully by the time this video goes up, I will have been done reading this, so I'm winning. I recently purchased this one, and I've heard different things about this book. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've only read one Emily Henry book, and that is People We Meet on Vacation. I also have a beach read on here somewhere, but I hear that's a very summer read, and it's November, so it won't really fit, I guess. So I got this at a book off, and I was all, you know, I could read this one at some point. Speaking of Abby Jimenez, I have 2 more that I want to read by the end of this year. In December, I kind of want to do like an Abby Jimenez binge. So I have The Friend Zone, which I think is the first book that she published. I feel like that's wrong. But anyway, this is a first of something. I think this is the beginning of the series, which I also read. I read Life is Short first. My bad. What is with my attitude today? Am I good? So immediately after that one, I kind of want to get into the Happy Ever After playlist. You know what? I'm kind of nervous about getting into this one because a lot of people say they don't like this one. Actually, I hear mixed things. People either really like her or they don't like her. I like her. Can't go wrong with these. So like I said earlier, some of these are going to be rereads, and this is one of them. I don't remember what year I read this. Maybe I did read this in 2018. Whoa, what is life? Anyway, I say this is one of my favorite books, and I kind of want to read it this year so that maybe it could still be one of my favorite books. This is the first book to ever make me cry. Let's see if it'll make me cry again this year. Oh, it's called American Panda by Gloria Chow. I'm covering her name. How rude. Speaking of cheating, I also don't know if this one counts because I already read it this year, but I listened to the audiobook instead of actually sitting down and reading the physical copy. And I loved it so much that I wanted to get the physical copy so I could reread it. Does it count? This is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. A lot of people rave about this book. A lot of people say it's their favorite rom-com. Is it a comedy? Is it funny? I don't think it was that funny. A lot of people are saying that this is their favorite romance book, and I could totally understand why. I also just want the physical copy. Alright, leave me alone. What is with my attitude today? Am I good? I literally talked about these next 4 books, these last 4 books in my previous video. I'm going to Japan in a few weeks, and I bought these 2 books a few months ago, and I had been waiting to read them either on the plane to and from Japan or just in this month in general. Tokyo Ever After and the sequel, Tokyo Dreaming by Emiko Jean. I hear it's kind of like Princess Diaries meets Girl in Japan or from Japan or whose dad is from Japan. Something like that. Honestly, I haven't heard anything about these books. All I've heard is people want to read this, so whoever else has this on their TBR, let's read this together. Also, Princess Diaries 3 is in the making, so how fitting. And this last one is actually a book that I borrowed from my local library, so I have to read this one probably a lot sooner than the other ones because this is alone. I don't know too much about this one, but somebody in my comments from my previous video said this was also on their TBR. It is called Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell, and it's in this really pretty plastic library cover. A few years ago, I listened to the audiobook of Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, and that was a wild freaking ride. And I don't think I've read anything by Rainbow Rowell since. And this is the latest release, I believe. So I want to get into this one. I should probably get into this one right after yours truly. Well, hey there, Editing Sarah here. You may have noticed that I said 9 and not 10 books. And that is because I happened upon some information, some kind of a few years old information about the author of the book that I wanted to read. And I ultimately decided to not read that book. I might actually need to get rid of that one. So today I went to my local library and I picked up The Bodyguard by Catherine Center because I have not read any Catherine Center books and I heard a lot of good things about her. And this was at the library. I hope it's good. And that is it for my 10 before the end. Woohoo! Obviously with TBRs, it depends. I might read them, I might not. I might find something else that I want to read before. But I'm giving that to myself as like a guideline so I don't buy any more books, which good luck! Also, going to the library was super fun and finding books there. So to save money, I might want to do that a little bit more. And then if I do like a book and I have the funding for it, then I can add it to my little library. In the comments, let me know what are your 10 before the end, and let me know if you've read any of these books that are in my 10 before the end. Anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!